Hi everyone, this is Tina with Rehatch Designs. Hope everyone's doing well. Um, I'm doing great. I wanted to thank everyone for um, all of the uh, thoughts and comments, etc., about worrying about me in Texas and my power and all that kind of stuff. And um, I tried to reply to as many as I could. But I do want to give everybody a shout out and say thank you um, for all your consideration. We're doing fine. We lost power for a few days, but we did okay. We never lost our water. We didn't have any damage to our home. My sons didn't as well. Um, so it was cold. It was definitely cold for a few days because it was like, you know, 10 degrees and a chill factor of like minus 20 or minus 10, for like 2 days, and we had no heat. Ours eventually came on after 14 hours, and then it went off, and then it went on, and then it went off and on. One of my sons, theirs never came on, and they eventually wound up finding a hotel after 2 days, and then they could have come here, but it was like a 40-minute drive and the roads were really bad. So, anyway, he was young, had all their ski clothes on and stuff, and it was on average 37 degrees, in his house. So it was cold. I think we got down to like 42, but that's because we had this great guy come and start our gas fireplace for us with some batteries. It was really cool. He MacGyvered it up and got it going, and so we had our fireplace, so I think it kind of kept it, you know, um, not terrible. We could survive. So anyway, yeah, we're doing great, and thank you for all your thoughts, and we're doing fine. So we haven't had any real aftermath, and we haven't didn't have any of the boil water notices, or we didn't have any pipes burst or anything like that. So I feel like we're very lucky, very very lucky. Anyway, I am kind of getting into the spring feeling or whatever, and um, I don't know if I'm going to do a specific spring journal. Um, I am going to try and do like a couple of Easter type journals, and then maybe I want to start a 5 ring binder type journal for like a garden journal, and I'm hoping to get that started maybe next time. I don't know how much of this one I'm going to do uh, on video. I think I kind of want to do it all because there's a lot of people out there that are wanting to start doing junk journals, and I I think it'd be good for them start to finish. But I have other videos out there that I've done like that, and I will link one that I've done. I'll put it in the description box that I did that I think is a really really good one for using a Reader's Digest. And then of course I have a lot of other ones that are no so, but I think most of the people that are wanting to learn want to learn how to do sew in the signatures. Um, the one I'm going to do for this journal is I am going to make a soft covered journal the way that I usually make them with the file folder in the middle. I love making those journals. I actually think it's one of the easiest type of journals to make, just because it gives you some flexibility, and you know you don't have to worry so much about filling it too much, and it's just, to me, I think it's actually an easy journal, an easier journal to make. So that's what I think I'm going to do, and I think I'll try and come in and show the major important parts for a new person to do. And I thought I'd bring everybody along with me. And I'm also going to be doing some work on my gypsy journals that I'm doing. I'm in the process of doing them now. I did a whole series on the Gypsy Journal, and of course, everyone's different. But if I do anything really different, I think I'll do some videos on that and how I'm doing it different. I am going to try and do the covers a lot different than I did before, just to mix it up a little. And I think maybe I'll do that, a video for that too. So anyway, let's get to this one today. I have decided that I want to make this one, and this is I'm going to use a digital, and I thought this would be a great digital for new people to use. And this is French Rabbit by My Porch Prints, and they're on Etsy. And I will try and remember to put the shop in the description box. But honestly, guys, I think this is a great, great digital kit. You get a lot with it for a very minimal price. And I think this would be a great kit for somebody to start out with. So anyway, I'm just going to show you the papers in it, just in case you're interested. I'm not going to be doing anything with them today. So if you're interested and you want to download it, this might be one to look at. So I'm just going to go through the papers, and isn't that cute? So you can see what they offer. It's just shocking how much you get with this kit for the price. I mean, I just was pretty shocked, and it's adorable. And I mean, it's not necessarily just Easter. It's just about bunnies. And, it has a lot of French stuff on it, and it's really cute. I mean, I love this kit. And isn't that, they're just so adorable. Anyway. Now I may add, like these are the blank pages and they have these little bunnies on them. I may add some different colored pastel pages to this from another kit. I'm not sure yet. I haven't really decided. I haven't printed on both sides because I'm not sure what I'm going to use and what I'm not going to use. So, and I wanted you guys to see, like, isn't that pretty? It has like a very light blue background to it. So here we go. It's really, really cute. It looks very vintage, but has a lot of pastels in it. And the cool thing about all these plain papers like this, I mean, you can use those on anything. That's what I was saying. I have other papers. A lot of the kits that I have, they'll have the plain papers, but these are so pretty. There's just so many things you could use them on. And then, of course, you get this. Isn't that cute? Oh, so adorable. And I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to put a bunny on the cover or not. I haven't made up my mind. I'll show you what I'm doing. So, I thought you guys love that. Isn't that cute? And then you have this. This one. It has so many amazing bunny pictures in there. I love it. Love, love, love it. So, I know it keeps going and going. Going and going. And then here's some envelopes. Here's a big envelope and some tabs. And here's another big envelope. And then here are some pockets. And some more pockets. So anyway, that's everything you get. I think it's just really great, and I'm real excited So let me show you what I think I'm going to use for the cover. I have this, and I showed this on one of my haul videos from a thrift store, and I can't show you the whole thing. But this is a very, very old quilt, and it's not like a full size, it's like a baby quilt or a child's quilt. So it's not, huge, huge, but I mean, as far as for making journals, I mean, it's a good size. And it is not in great shape. I mean, there's a lot of, pieces worn and whatever, but honestly, guys, that's why you get a great deal on these, and they're very vintage and they'll look really great. And I don't know, to me, that's why you get these fantastic deals. So I have a big quilt. I think I shared a lot of it with you guys and prizes and stuff. So, ugh. What's fun about these is that you can definitely make some fun things with them. So, I think I'm going to take a piece of this, and of course, I'm going to put things on the spots that, I need to cover up. But I'm going to make it with this. And I'm not sure what I'm going to put on the front. I haven't thought it through 100%, but, I'll just do it with you. Um, I'm also going to use, I have a lot of these beautiful embroidered pieces, and these I got also at a thrift store. I think that quilt I paid, see, I think it was $10 with 50% off, so it was $5. These were $2, 250, because it was two pillowcases for 50% off. So it's 250. Aren't they beautiful? So I'm gonna probably put some of this on the front. I don't think I'm gonna use both of them, but I just thought I'd show you that. Um, I also have another one. I don't know where the top to that is. And there's two of those also. And these are all hand done, they're not machine. So I may put some of that on there too. Um, what's really great about these is even the linen, is it was worth the 250 just for that. Because, I'm going to be doing something with that at some point. I also have these vintage crocheted pieces that have pastel colors and things, and I'll be using some of that. Let's see. I have, oh, let me get them over here, a big stack of all these other pieces, and I'm going to go through all my stuff and look for more. But I have a ton of these other pieces. Um, and I like to use these kind of things for like pockets and stuff like that, because they have this really pretty trim on it. So I may use part of those. I have all different colors, so and I got this, and I I know I if you've been watching my channels, I got this huge box from eBay, and I think it was like 22 or $24, and then I paid like I don't know 25 for shipping, and it was overseas, but it might have been $20. I think it was $1 per pound. It was hard to read the description. It turned out it was 20 pounds of stuff. Okay, and I know it was only like 20 something dollars because the whole thing altogether was like $45, and it was huge, full of all kinds of stuff like this. I mean, more than I could ever use. So anyway, I do like to use things like that in there, and I will probably put something. I don't know. I don't know. I'll put different things in there, but and some I want to use for like pages. I may put some in there for just for some pages. I thought that'd be kind of pretty. So anyway, I'm going to be using those. Um, of course, you don't have to do any of that. I mean, I am not 100% positive what I'm going to put on the inside of this. I haven't really made up my mind yet. I have this um, ticking type fabric, but I also have some vintage blue that's really, really old, and I may use that. So I don't know. I just can't make up my mind 100% if I want to go with the blue or if I want to go with this pink. So I'm going to kind of have to look at it. I have this iron-on interfacing, and I may use that to kind of stiffen up this pink because it's not real thick. So I may, if I use the pink, I may use that. Um, I also have this lace that's sold by the yard, and some I may even use that on top of the ticking, or I may just use like a white fabric and then use this. Haven't 100% figured it out. That's going to be on the inside, okay? Um, it's not going to be on the outside. So I'm kind of going to move and just see how I do and figure out what I want to do with that, okay? I also have this yellow, but I don't know. I'm not seeing a lot of yellow in there, so I kind of don't know if I want to put the yellow in there. I see more blue, more pink, so I think I may just go with that. Anyways, guys, that is what I have in mind. And for today, what I want to do is I want to start on the cover. I do want to say to all of y'all, if you go to thrift stores, I'm not kidding, you'll find, like, see, this has a big stain on it. A lot of times they'll have stains or whatever. This is just a pillowcase or a sham or whatever. Don't be worried about the little bad spots on here because you can put other things on there and cover it up. Like I have another one. Where did it go? I have this one that I bought, and this is just an old pillow sham, and I think I paid $1 for that or something. You could easily use something like that, and you can almost always find them. I found another one. I'm not going to use it for this, but it has a big hole right here. But there's enough of this to easily make a cover. So, um, so think about that if you're looking for like a quilted type material. Um, you will find these all the time in thrift stores. Okay, so anyway, I am going to be using just a regular old file folder, and the way I do that, okay, so you usually want it to be 5.5 to 6 inches wide. I like it to be right around 5.5, but I'm going to call it 6 because I like that other like quarter of an inch or half inch room in there. So then so that'll be 5 and 5 is 10 plus another half inch on each. So that's 11. So that's 11 inches. And if I want a 3-inch spine, which I do because this is going to be 3 signatures, I like an inch for each signature because I have big, bulky items usually in my journals and it's full. And this is going to be a big journal. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to add um, to that uh, 12 inches, I'm going to add 2 more inches, okay? So that'll give me enough room for my spine, and that'll give me enough room for the sides, okay? So I take my, that'll be a total of 13, 14 inches that I would make this file folder. And then I usually make it 8.5 or 9. I'm going to make this 8.5 or maybe 8 3/4. I don't know. We'll see. First off, what I do is I take this and I trim off right to I take that part off. So I take all of that off on each side. Make sure I get all of that part off, and just cut it. Okay. And then I go in here, and I usually try and cut this the same as the one underneath it. That way, I have that in there crooked. Here we go. That way, I can just kind of even it out on each side. So then what happens is I have an equal amount on each side, and I have the middle here. I don't do anything with this middle. I use it for that. So if I want it to be 6 inches on each side, then that would be 12 inches, or 6 inches plus another inch. So that's 7 inches. So 7 and 7 are 14. So I'm going to make this 7 across here, and I'm going to cut through both of these. So we are going to go right at 7 inches, and you usually have, that's going to give me, let's see, that's going to give me if it's 5.5 inches, 10, 11, so it'll be 12, 13, 14. That gives me 3 inches, because 5.5 and 5.5 are 11 inches, because you want the width to be 5.5 on each side, so that's 11. And then another inch would give you 12, another inch would give you 13, and another 14. Those 3 other inches are your spine, and that gives you plenty of room for each signature. This is going to have 3 signatures, and I do 1 inch for each signature. Now that may be a lot more than most people do, but that's on average what I usually end up doing. Whenever I make it less, then you know what? I end up regretting it because I don't have any room. So I'm going over this a few times to make sure it cuts through both. So I basically have 7 inches on each side, okay? So that is my cutting part. So I have made this a total of 14 inches. So this is 14 inches here. And now I have to cut this part. Now, you can make it up to 9 inches. It kind of depends to me on what I'm putting in it. On this one, I think I'm going to go 8.5 inches. So I am just going to cut this to 8.5 inches. Let's go here. And I do the same thing. I just cut through both. Get that on there. Okay. So that is what I'm doing for my cover. I'm doing 8.5. And I just will use this as a template to cut out my my material. And I always cut it out a little bit bigger, and I trim it later. So I'm going to go ahead and take my scoreboard over here. Okay. And one thing I do with my scoreboard is I will take it and I score. You don't have to do this, but I score where the spine is going to be, just so that I kind of have an idea of where it starts. And it's kind of hard to tell later, but it does help sometimes. You don't have to do this, but basically what I do is I come over. If you're doing a 3 inch, if you're doing a 2 inch spine, you'd go over an inch. If you're doing a 3 inch spine, then obviously you would go over 1.5 and 1.5 you double that, that's 3 inches. So we're doing a 3 inch spine. So I'm going to go over 1.5. Let me find my little scoring tool here. So I'm going to go over to 1.5. And I just do that. And it just makes it easier for me later. I'll turn it over and do the other side. And you could do this with a ruler. You don't have to have a scoring. So that is going to give me a pretty good size spine. Okay. So, you know, and you really won't see it that much. It'll be more curved when you're done. But that's what I'm doing with this. And I'm going to go ahead and put this up. So now we have this part that we're going to use, and you do not have to use this. A lot of people just use fabric to fabric. I do it to give it a little bit of structure. That's how I do it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my quilt piece and decide what part of it that I want to cut. And I think I had picked one out earlier. Yeah, this is it. And even though this has a lot of, pieces on it that are probably, kind of beat up, I still am wanting to cut. And see, this is the size that I need it right here, okay? So what I'm going to do is I probably will cut it a little big and loosely. It's hard for me to do it in front of you guys. Let me get my scissors here. And I'm going to kind of mark it so that I can see it of where I want it. Just use my little pen right here. There we go. And again, I'm doing it a little bit bigger than I need it, so okay. So now I am just going to cut it out. And this is my other point I'm trying to get it to, so. And the great thing about getting these old quilts like this, I mean, this would, a lot of people would probably just throw this in the trash or, I guess some people might try and repair it, but this way you're making somebody's work that they did, and you're salvaging it. So kind of the way you're doing with old books, you're taking this stuff and you're just like all of those embroidered pieces. People aren't using those anymore. So, well, I cut that pretty crooked, but I think I'll be able to salvage it. So, any case, what I'm going to do is try and straighten that out. Here's my little line there. It kind of goes up in the middle. So, it's kind of hard to do that at the angle that I was at. I'm not trying to get it perfect right now because honestly, I'm going to be doing stuff to this. So, all right, now what I'm going to do is I am going to kind of put it against this, and I'm keeping this part on here because I like it, the end. So, I'm going to do that. Likely, this is going to be my front, and I kind of don't want to trim that too much if I can help it. Oh, I may have cut it a little bit too short. Let's see here. Is it going to work? I don't know how I did that because I thought I cut it larger. No, I guess I have it laying on there crooked. It's about right. Okay, so now what I'm going to do think it's a little bit too tall though. Let me see here. The reason I kind of want to get the size reasonably close to what it's going to be. Oh, I see. It's just very crooked. It's very misshapen. Okay, what I kind of want to get it kind of the size that it's going to be is because I don't want to make it too short. Here we go. Is I am going to be adding things to this. I really should pin this down, but oh well. I'm going to do the best I can this way. When I attach it to it, then I'll straighten it all out a lot more. But for right now, this is good enough. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I am going to be doing some slow stitching and things like that and stitching pieces on here. So I don't want to go ahead and glue this to my cover yet. And I really kind of have to decide what I'm going to do and what pieces I'm going to use. Okay, so I just don't know how much of this will show up on here. I really kind of have to play with it. And I think what I'm going to do is I also have, see, I have a lot of this stuff. And I may take some of it and put it around the edges. Okay, it's kind of a trim. I don't know if I have enough. I have to make sure I have enough to go around and do that kind of a thing just to kind of get an idea of what I want to do. I'm thinking, where'd that other piece go? I have several really pretty pieces, so I just have to kind of decide what I'm going to do. And I'm going to put some glue to kind of tack it down, but I also want to do some stitching on here where you can see it. So let me see. Wondering if this might look better with all the pink. I know the whole thing can't fit on there, so let's see. What if I do? And of course, it doesn't have anything to do with bunnies, so I don't know. That's my dilemma is, do I want to do this with that, or do I want to just put a bunny on it? What do you guys think? Right? I don't know. I don't know. So this is the dilemma that I'm going through. So let's see. I have all these really cute bunnies, and I'm thinking, well, maybe I want to take this really cute bunny and somehow put that on the cover. Oh gosh, I can't decide. I think what I'm going to do, see, I don't think I want to use the blue. It does have some blue on it. Now see, like all these pieces I'll have to cover. And that's where I kind of want to, I'm going to tack them down with glue, but I'm going to stitch them on. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this. I'm not going to put it on here yet. I will probably go ahead and figure out what I'm going to put on the inside. I could put some of these on the inside, and that way I could put my bunny on there. Wouldn't that be pretty? Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll do that. That would be pretty, because this is pretty thick. Maybe I will do that. Okay, let's do that. So how big of a piece would I need, and would that be? Okay, so this is going to go. I really want to keep this in there, right? So would that be wide enough? Oh yeah, more than wide enough. More than wide enough, right? Hmm. Yeah, definitely. Okay. So let's make sure I do the height good enough. So I'm going to put this on here as just kind of a template. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting out a piece of this. I think actually what I'm going to do is I'll probably just cut out this whole half of it. I know it's just part of me is like, oh, I shouldn't cut this. But you know what? I probably wouldn't use it this way, so part of me thinks it would just make a great cover by itself, but you know what? I just think it'd be really pretty on the inside, wouldn't it? So I think I'm just going to go right up here. And we're going to go. I have this on the inside just to see the height to go up to about right here. Okay. I know some of you were like, oh my God, what are you doing? But you know what? That's what I bought this stuff for, and I don't know. I have so much of this now that I have to start using it. And a lot of I've had it sitting around. I haven't done anything with it, so and I love using textiles and things like that. I just really do. And so this is going to have a lot of vintage stuff in it. So we're going to do that. And it's not that you can't use this stuff. This is great. And see, originally what I had thought is I would put that in there. And then I would take some of this and just kind of cut around it and then put it on there. But I really think that that's going to just take away from all of this. So on the inside, this will be the inside piece, and it will be in there. But you know what's going to happen? That butterfly is going to go right smack in the middle of this thing, and you're not going to see it. Maybe if I go more this way, and when you fold it in half, let's see where you're going to get. You're going to go right here. Oh yeah, that's good. Okay, that would work. Except we lose some of the flowers. Shoot. Ugh. Gosh darn it. There's really no way to do this. I could cut some of these off and put them. I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that. What's going to happen is you're going to lose these. You're going to lose some of it, but you're going to lose this in here. And then when you put it in half, because that's this half, where's the other half? It's right here. So that's the middle. Yeah, so you're going to miss half the butterfly. I don't think there's any way to do it other than you have to cut some of this off. I mean, you have to go over as much as you can. Let me see. So that would go to about right here. And then, so you would be cutting off most of this. Gosh, that is so depressing. Wonder how the other one looks. What it would look like as far as the pattern goes and what we'd be cutting off. It could be, you would be cutting off this part. It wouldn't be as bad. Oh gosh. Decisions, decisions. I really wanted to put that in there. Really, really wanted to do that. I guess not. I guess I can't. I don't know. I can't think of a way to do it that you're not cutting off the butterfly. Let's see. What other really cool things could I put in there? I could do something like that. I don't know. Nah. I just have so many of these. Let's see here. This is green. I don't know if the green really works with this. I don't know, guys. I really had this all in my head figured out, but it just didn't work. So, I don't know. Could I do the yellow? I don't know if I want to do the yellow. All right, I'm going to try this one and see if it looks better. Just because. And I know I have to go up at least 8 inches, so actually let's just do 9. So from here to here is 9. Go up a little bit higher. See, I could just have this all done, ready to go, but I thought it'd be good for you guys to see in real time what I'm doing and how I make these decisions. And okay, so let's just go straight across. I wonder if I can go ahead and just kind of cut, just rip it, see if it'll rip, so it'll go straighter. Okay. All right, let's see how this would look. I don't know if it will be as taking as much off of it. So I could do that. It's got these cute little butterflies. Not crazy about a couple of them, but okay. So that way, when this one comes over, right? This is the middle. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. Definitely a lot better, because then you're going to have all of this, you know. And I don't think I would put a pocket on that, because in fact I might move it over a little bit and get most of that on and see what happens. I'll put that there. Right? So that way I can kind of see where I'm going with this. So that's what you would see. And then that's the middle. So that would be it right there. Yeah, I think I would move it over a tiny bit so that mine would come all the way through. Yeah, I think that would be good, because then that would go right here. So this is the middle. Okay, that's good. I think that would be good right there. Perfect. We'll just do that right there. And we're going to do that a little bit longer on the edges. That's where that's going to go. So I am actually going to cut that out. with my little piece here on top, and that way I can feel reasonably confident that we're going to have enough of this. Right? Okay. And this is bigger, so turn this around. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect because we'll trim it up after we put it all together. Now, if I were going to do a pocket on this, this is where I would have to add my pocket, things like that. But I think because of this embroidery, I'm not going to do that. And always save these pieces. These are great to print on. This will end up just being the inside, and I probably won't do anything to either side. I do think what I want to do is I'm going to put some interfacing on this to make it a little bit thicker on the inside, because when you put your glue and all that kind of stuff on, you'll show through. So I'm going to do that. And so I'll take that and let me get a piece of that cut. And I always do that bigger too, so that way I have, plenty, and then I kind of trim it off later. And this is just an iron-on interfacing, nothing super. Okay, so I'm going to let my iron heat up a little bit. I have it over here. I think I'm going to put it a little bit warmer than it is. It's on low right now. When I do my interfacing, I like it to go on a little bit stronger. This is another thing. This is another pillow sham that I bought, and these were $2, so $1 for both two of them. And these work great. I was thinking about using this for the inside, which I guess I still could. I could do that and then put that on it, but nah, I don't think I will. This will be plenty thick enough. The way that I do my fabric covers is I usually do like an upholstery weight fabric, and then I do a lighter cotton fabric on the inside. This is a little bit lighter than I would like. That's why I'm putting the interfacing on it. If you're doing a little bit thicker fabric, like, let me see if I can, at that point you don't have to do any interfacing or anything. I'm only doing it just because this fabric is very lightweight. So I'm going to take this, and this is the side that sticks. You can feel it. This is the smooth side. So this is the part that you want to stick to your fabric. So I'm going to put that down. Okay, and then I think I'm just going to go like that. That way we're ironing on the back. I'm not going to pin it or anything because it's just, the one piece. And then I am just going to go straight on, and hopefully I can get that kind of melted on there. Now this is not super stiff interfacing. You could buy some that's probably a little bit, stiffer than this. It's up to you. And then maybe if you did that, you could skip the whole file folder part. But I like my fabric covers to have a little bit of stiffness. Not a lot, just a little bit. Okay, it doesn't really take much for that to stick on there. Okay, so anyway, smooth that out a little bit in that little spot if there's any wrinkled spots there. Okay, this is what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. Oh, it has a little spot on it. That's okay. So anyway, that is what it looks like, and then I will just cut around that. And when I put it down, I will trim it even more and make it perfect. But for right now, that just makes my fabric a little bit thicker so that I can use it on the inside. And I'm going to have to trim that underneath that trim because I really didn't want it to stick to that, but I think it'll come out pretty easily. I'll do that later. Anyway, so that is going to be what I use, and that'll end up being on the inside, probably like that. Okay, so that'll be my inside. This is my outside. And then what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to take, I don't think I definitely won't use green, but I have all these other colors, and I may take some of this other trim and put it in on there. From here, I may use some lace that I have, and that's probably a little bit too bright there, huh? So I'm going to do that, and then I will go ahead and put like little doilies and things on it to cover some of the pieces. Like here we have one that's cut out, and so that we will do that. And then I guess I think what I may do is I may put a rabbit on here or do something, but I definitely wanted to use some of this stuff just because I have it and I need to use it. So, okay, well, that's all I'm going to do today, and I will work more on this next time. But the way this will eventually work is the file folder will go in the middle. Okay, I'm going to, after I decorate this cover up a little, after I put a few more things on here, I will basically glue this on here like that. Okay, then I will glue this on. All right, and that's part of the reason why we put this interfacing on is to make it thicker. And then I'll put that on, okay? And then I'll cut it and trim it and make sure it's all even. And then what I'm going to do is I will sew all the way around it. I usually do a zigzag stitch, and that will make sure everything stays in place. And that'll be, my cover. If I decide to put a tie or something on it, which I haven't really decided yet what I'm going to do, then at that point what I'll do is I will probably insert that in here, probably here, and I'll go ahead and glue that in and maybe sew it a little bit too just to make sure that it stays in, and then that's what I'll do. Okay, so anyway, I'll see you next time, and we'll work more on the cover, and then we'll start working on the pages. Okay, thanks.